At the end of the working day, Luda wanted to sign documents with the director. Seeing that the secretary had already left, she entered the director's office without knocking. Dima, I wanted to sign. Before she could finish speaking, she was literally speechless. Dima kissed the secretary. Sveta, seeing Luda, immediately followed the exit. Luda looked at Dima and shook her head. Dima, are you crazy? Have you contacted this? Luda didn't like Dima's new secretary Sveta. It was immediately clear from her that she had come here in search of a rich man. And the appearance spoke for itself. High heels, short dresses, open cleavage, long bleached hair and bright red lipstick. But Dima always created the image of an ideal family man. Really couldn't resist the young secretary? Luda, I hope this will remain between us and you won't tell Yulia anything? Hissed at her as soon as Sveta left. Julia is my friend. And in general, this girl herself pestered me. Herself? Did you pester the director yourself? Ha ha ha. Well, yes. And you, I see, were only happy. Well, that's enough. Do you really think that I am serious with her? Who knows you? Luda, please don't say anything to Yulia. I beg you. See this and remain silent? On the other hand, silence will preserve their marriage, because Yulia loves her husband so much. Fine. This time I won't tell you anything. But if I see something like this again, don't be offended. Good, good. The chief accountant's word is law. I promise I won't do it anymore. Well, look. Well, what did you want? He extended his hand to take the documents that Luda brought. We need your signature. That evening, Luda thought a lot about what she saw and could not find an explanation for it. Never in her life would she have thought that Dima could cheat on Yulia. Yulia is Luda's friend, with whom she studied in the same group at school. Luda always considered herself very lucky to have her husband. They love each other. Dima earns good money. Yulia does not need anything. Their marriage seemed ideal. Luda was less lucky than her friend. Her husband left her for his mistress 5 years ago. Luda was having a hard time with her divorce, and more than anything else, she was afraid of betrayal. Since then, she has devoted herself only to work. That is why she no longer began to build relationships with men. A week has passed. Luda no longer saw Dima with the secretary and did not tell her friend anything. She believed that it was indeed a misunderstanding, and that it would not happen again. After another day of work, Luda came home tired. She was planning to take a bath and go to bed, but suddenly the doorbell rang. Luda opened the door and saw Dima. He stood with a suitcase in his hands. Well, hello. Did you achieve your goal? He asked her, shaking his head. What are you talking about? Julia kicked me out. You told your friend about me and Sveta. What nonsense. I didn't tell her anything. Oh really? Who then? Only you saw us. Dima, I swear to you. I didn't say anything. And then, you yourself said that there is nothing between you. Listen, Lyetka, let's not drag this out now. You made the mess. It's up to you to sort it out. To me? Yes, exactly, for you. Dima entered the apartment and began to take off his shoes. Where are you going? Luda was surprised. I didn't think I invited you. So, I will live with you until Yulka takes me back. What? What do I have to do with it? People, isn't that funny? Dima, go away. In the end, it's even good that Julia herself found out about your adventures and kicked you out. Now I won't be tormented by my conscience that I knew everything and didn't tell her. And it's all your fault. But no, I'm not going anywhere. Dima went into the living room, took off his jacket and sat on the sofa, looking around the room. You have a 2-room apartment. I'll live here in the living room. Suits me, I'm not picky. Meanwhile, make sure that Julia forgives me. What a cheek. If your wife kicked you out, then you deserve it. What a cheek. If your wife kicked you out, then you deserve it. Go and look for accommodation for the night in another place, for example, with your Sveta.
Luda, are you serious? Do you think I need this Sveta? Ha ha ha. Well, then go to your friends, or to your brother, or to a hotel, in the end. But no, I will live here, and it's in your interests to talk to Yulia as quickly as possible. Dima unbuttoned his shirt and began to stretch his belt, thereby showing that he would not go anywhere. Luda felt awkward. I'm going to sleep, he said to Luda and lay down on the sofa. Luda looked at him and shook her head. She knew him for many years, so she did not kick him out of the apartment. Approaching the chest of drawers, she pulled out a pillow and a blanket and handed them to Dima. Thank you, I can give you a ride to the office tomorrow. Only I leave early, at 7 o'clock, he said. Luda didn't answer and left the room, closing the door. She went into the bedroom and immediately called her friend. Julia cried and told her that her husband had cheated on her. Luda tried to calm her down and said that Dima was with her. How about you? Julia immediately changed her tone. He came to ask me to talk to you. Well, he asked me to spend the night with me today, because he had nowhere to go. Is it true? Yes. So that means he's not with his mistress. No, God bless. This means they are not serious. And I thought, Julia, maybe you will come. Talk to him. No, not today. Don't let him think that everything is so easy. Tell him I don't want to know him anymore. Let him suffer a little. Didn't understand. I will pretend that I will never forgive him. Let him pursue me, asks for forgiveness, begs, so he will have to live here all this time. People, why are you sorry? You live alone. Luda was silent. She didn't like this idea. Well, please, Lud. Julia continued. Okay, but not for long. I still missed living with your husband in the same apartment. Thank you, dear. Luda hung up. A minute later, she wanted to call Yulia back and say that she didn't like this idea, but changed her mind. In the end, Yulia once helped her a lot during a difficult period in her life. She got her a job with her husband. She can't turn away from Yulia now when she needs her help. Luda was uncomfortable that a strange man had been living in her apartment for 2 days already. Despite the fact that Dima was the husband of her close friend and her director, she showed her displeasure with her whole appearance. Dima saw it. He tried to come home later, and in the morning he left earlier to be in the apartment as little as possible. He hoped that soon Luda would talk to Yulia and she would ask him to come back.